1 second.
All right. Call the meeting to order. This is the special planning commission meeting and hearing of 8/27/24. It's currently 6 p.m. We will start with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's do roll call.
Lee Brailish here, Richard Palmer here.
Bradley Farrar here.
Barclay here.
Becky Wood here.
Anyone have any conflicts of interest to disclose?
I have conflict, on the action item 7 and 8.
Okay. Anyone else? No? All right, move into the hearings. Just like last time, everyone can have 3 minutes. It's not a Q&A. We're not gonna answer any questions. You can come up and speak your piece and we'll move on. We'll open up hearing on item number 1, zone change application on parcels AV-1353-JC2, AV-1383-JC2, AV-1352, AV-1341, AV-1340, AV-1347, Jepson Canyon Resort Development Co. Incorporated from Plan Development PD to Rural Estates 1 acre zone. And the reason for request is change to RE1. Anyone have any comments they'd like to make? Anyone online? All right, then we will close out the hearing on item number 1. Zone change application on parcels AV-1353-JC2, AV-1383-JC2, AV-1352, AV-1341, AV-1340, AV-1347, Jepson Canyon Resort Development Co. Incorporated from Plan Development to Rural Estates 1. Now we'll open up the hearing on item number 2, zone change application on parcels AV-1382-JC2, AV-1381, AV-1337-A-1-A-1-A, AV-1381-JC1, AV-1384-JC3, AV-1338-A-1-JC3, AV-1385-JC3, AV-1338-A-2, Little Creek Land Company LLC from Plan Development to Rural Estates 1 acre zone and Highway Commercial C2. And the reason for the request is to change to RE1 and C2. Any comments? Would anyone online like to make any comments? All right, we will close the hearing on item number 2, zone change application on parcels AV-1382-JC2, AV-1381, AV-1337-A-1-A-1-A, AV-1381-JC1, AV-1384-JC3, AV-1338-A-1-JC3, AV-1385-JC3, AV-1338-A-2, Little Creek Land Company LLC from Plan Development to Rural Estates 1 acre and Highway Commercial C2. Now we'll move on to item number 3 and open up a hearing on the zone change application on parcels AV-1317-B, AV-1317-D, AV-1325, AV-1-2-19-313, AV-1-2-19-312, AV-1-2-19-315, AV-1-2-19-316, AV-1-2-19-317, AV-1-2-19-420, AV-1324-A, AV-1323A, AV-1322-A, Crimson Peak subdivision from single family residential to Rural Estates 1 acre zone. And the reason for the request is changing the single family half acre to RA1. Any comments?
Yeah, like that. All right, guys, everybody knows me. I'm Brandon with Crimson Peaks. And I have a feeling, whatever I say doesn't matter, right? You're gonna vote but I want to make sure it's on record today. So last October, a year ago again, when we were issued our preliminary plats by the previous mayor, all of you, which, not all of you, most of you which signed off. My planner, Matt Liu, the former mayor, their biggest concern was the fire hazard, right? We got one road coming in and out of town. You build us that road, we'll redline it. So we did. We've changed the engineering. We fixed that. A couple months later, it was a sewer. Hey, you guys got to fix the septic. Go do that. We hire the most expensive firm. Go spend 30,000, restructure the sewer. We come back, you redline it, and now, prior to 1 year when that expiration is up, you down zone. Not only add down zoning, but the council adds, or planning commission adds a restriction on building permits. By the way, visiting with the state of Utah, there is not a single city in the state of Utah that's ever restricted building permits and been held up. Mayor thinks there's one or two, there's not, ever. The other thing is you're giving us like 3 weeks to change plans, 3 weeks. The mayor's like, let's meet halfway. His idea of meeting halfway is take it or leave it, our 1 acres, or sue us. We don't have time, right? We would love to figure out how to sit down and meet halfway, but you're basically saying, no, you got to deal with the 1 acres or sue us. And so it's going to go to legal. My motion is that we're going to table my 2 subdivisions and give us 60 days to work it out. I promise you, we don't have time by tomorrow. So just to recap, you're asking us to go to 1 acres. The entire Washington County, I can show, uses more water with 1 acres than 2 acre lots combined. The mayor has different statistics in Apple Valley. I'll argue all day. You're asking us, you're cutting water permits from 400 down to 200 at 17.5. That's $3.5 million. You don't need any loans. You don't need grants or PIDs or anything. That's your revenue. You're asking us to develop lots that use more water, and you're cutting $3.5 million out, and you're going to illegally restrict building permits. And we've got to fight you about that. So unless we can work that out, I can't do that by tomorrow. And so we're willing to help. We're not D.R. Horton. We're not going to post 1,000 homes up there. No, unlike what he said last night, it's not going to be 5 times what St. George is going to be. Come on, guys. You're not even giving us a year to legally. And I also don't think your legal counsel believes that what you're doing is legal. I'd love to bring him in. If Heath's on the phone, love to bring Heath in. So that's where we're at. Man, I'd love to work with you, but you're saying you got to change it tomorrow, we're voting. So I'm asking you to table it until we can either figure out if we can make it work or not. And I promise you, we want to make it work. But you're not giving us a chance.
Thank you. Anyone else like to make any comments?
Yeah, Scout Holm here, with Crimson Peaks, and rather than, I agree with Brandon. I don't know if everything we say today will even matter, but if there's a way on the agenda to just make it so, I guess our statements kind of carry on to the next items too, so we don't take up all night saying the same thing over and over again. I want to just start by kind of how Brandon began his comments. And I agree with everything Brandon said, by the way, so if that could be stated as well. I did want to just, as a refresher, go back to the meeting minutes of October 4th, 2023, when we came in for our preliminary plat approval. And looking back on that, you know, I'll just read the first couple lines here. It says who was the planning commission at the time. So the chairman was Michael Farrar, commissioners Lee Freilich, Richard Palmer, Garth Hood, Bradley Farrar. That's who on October 4th, 2023 recommended approval for our preliminary plat and recommended it for approval to go before town council, where it was approved. Scrolling down that, you know, the meeting minutes of that, when it went to a vote, the vote says Chairman Farrar called for a vote. Commissioner Farrar, aye. Commissioner Palmer, aye. Commissioner Freilich, aye. Commissioner Farrar, aye. So this is something that, I mean, we haven't tried to go through the back door at all. I feel like we've been here before. I can't count you, Becky, in that, but the rest of you were here when we came in and got our approvals. From that day, we've only tried to do what was right and what we were approved for at the time. I feel like anything changing from that is just, really unfair to us. I mean, I feel like the name developer in this town has got a real bad rap, and I don't know that I can blame you. There's a lot of talk, from the mayor and the TCPC about you guys inherited, problems, which is probably understandable, but also, us coming in as developers, we would just ask that you wouldn't, label us as the past bad developers, the same way you guys don't expect us to judge you against past administrations, but yeah, if there's a way that we could work this out to still be able to do the preliminary plat the way it was approved by pretty much each one of you on October 4th, that's what we would like to do. And once again, rather than me coming up here each time for all the other agenda items, if we could just reference my comments and carry. Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
It was bring up.
All right, any other comments in the room? Anyone online like to make any comments? All right, then we will close out the hearing on item number 3, zone change application on parcels AV-1317-B, AV-1317-D, AV-1325, AV-1-2-19-313, AV-1-2-19-312, AV-1-2-19-315, AV-1-2-19-316, AV-1-2-19-317, AV-1-2-19-420, AV-1324-A, AV-1323-A, AV-1322-A, Crimson Peak subdivision from single family residential half acre to rural estates 1 acre. Now move on to item number 4, open up a hearing on zone change application on parcels AV-1313-D-1-A, AV-1313-D-2, West Temple subdivision from single family residential half acre and single family residential 1 acre to rural estates 1 acre zone. And the reason for the request is changing the single family half acre and single family 1 acre to RE1. The C2 and A-40 will remain the same. Any comments? Anyone online? All right, we'll close out the hearing on item number 4, zone change application on parcels AV-1313-D-1-A, AV-1313-D-2, West Temple subdivision from single family half acre and single family 1 acre to rural estates 1 acre zone. Now we'll move on to discussion of possible action items. Start on item number 5, the zone change application on parcels AV-1353-JC2, AV-1383-JC2, AV-1352, AV-1341, AV-1340, AV-1347, Jefferson Canyon Resort Development Co. Incorporated from planned development to rural estates 1 acre zone. Go over the details. It's 44 acres in total. It does run in conjunction with number 6. We have it separated due to the commercial zone. Anyone have any questions, comments, concerns? Anyone would like to make a motion?
I will. A motion to approve zone change application on parcels AV-1353-JC2, AV-1383-JC2, AV-1352, AV-1341, AV-1340, AV-1347, Jefferson Canyon Resort Development Incorporated from planned development to rural acres, 1 acre zone, RE1. And the reason for this request is to change to RE1.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, let's take a vote. Aye.
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 Motion carries. Now move on to item number 6, zone change application on parcels AV 1382 JC two, AV 1381, AV 1337 A 1 A 1 A, AV 1381 JC one, AV 1384 JC three, AV 1338 A 1 JC three, AV 1385 JC three, AV 1338 A 2, Little Creek Land Company LLC from plan development to rural estates 1 acre zone. And the reason for the request is changed to RE1 and C-2. It is currently zoned plan development, proposed zone is to RE1 and C2. There will be 21 acres of C2 up front along the highway, and total acreage is 268 acres. Anyone have any comments or questions?
Nope.
In the motion, we have to clarify it's for RE1 and C2. It does not state that on item number 6. Anyone would like to make the motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we recommend approval for zone change application on parcel AV 1382 JC two, AV 1381, AV 1337 A 1 A 1 A, AV 1381 JC one, AV 1384 JC three, AV 1338 A 1 JC three, AV 1385 JC three, AV 1338 A 2, Little Creek Land Company LLC from plan development to rural estates 1 acre zone. And the reason for the request is change to RE1 and C2.
Second.
All right, motion and second. Take a vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now move on to item number 7, zone change application on parcels AV 1317 B, AV 1317 D, AV 1325, AV 12, AV 1 2 19 313, AV 1 2 19 312, AV 1 2 19 315, AV 1 2 19 316, AV 1 2 19 317, AV 1 2 19 420, AV 1324 A, AV 1323 A, AV 1322 A, Crimson Peak subdivision from single family residential half acre to rural estates 1 acre. This is Crimson Peak subdivision. It is a total about 160 acres, maybe a little bit more, 170 acres. Changing it from single family half acre to rural estates 1 acre. Got any comments? You wanna make a motion?
I motion. I recommend approval for zone change application on parcels AV 1317 B, AV 1317 D, AV 1325, AV 1 2 19 313, AV 1 2 19 312, AV 1 2 19 315, AV 1 2 19 316, AV 1 2 1 2 19 317, AV 1 2 19 420, AV 1324 A, AV 1323 A, AV 1322 A, Crimson Peak subdivision from single family residential 20,000 square foot home to rural estates 1 acre zone RE1, and the reason for the request is changing SF to 0.5 to RE1.
All right, motion is second. Let's take a vote.
Abstain.
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Now move on to item number 8, zone change application on parcels AV 1313 D one A, AV 1313 E 2, West Temple subdivision from single family residential half acre and single family residential 1 acre to rural estates 1 acre, and the reason for the request is changing single family half acre and single family 1 acre to RE1, and the C2 and A40 will remain the same. You guys all know where this is at, 531 acres in total. The, like I said, the commercial and agricultural remain the same. The only part that's changing is the single family half acre and single family 1 acre to rural estates 1 acre. Any comments? I'll make a motion. All right, I make a motion, we recommend approval on zone change application on parcels AV 1313 D one A, AV 1313 D 2, West Temple subdivision from single family residential half acre and single family residential 1 acre to rural estates 1 acre zone. And the reason for the request is to change single family half acre and single family 1 acre to rural estates 1 acre. The C2 commercial and A-40 agricultural will remain the same. Motion and second, let's take a vote.
Abstain. Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
motion carries. Anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn. I'll second.
All right, motion and second, let's take a vote.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
meeting adjourned.